and gentlemen, coming off of a reverse sweep from Dragon Phoenix Gaming, it's Dark. And in the top left, sending out a very early SCV. Ladies and gentlemen, from Shopify Rebellion, it of course is Byun. It looks like we're seeing some cheese here from Byun. Now, obviously Byun in Creator, versus Creator, in their earlier match, I think did win it. I'm trying to remember if it went to 4 or 5 games. Again, I cast this live on Friday and I just couldn't get the final match. But Byun did take out Creator, and I think in his wins, Byun looked very, very solid. Oh, this is a proxy 3 racks. Okay, that is not something that you see every day. Dark is not scouting this out. Now, in Dark Series versus Cure actually did proxy 2 racks him and got a pretty good amount of damage done with it, because Dark did not send his first Overlords out in a way where they would scout for proxies. And this is happening again in this game. Now, Dark has gone for the 17-16 pool, yeah, or a gas pool, but he still has gone hatch first. And mind you, this build has a lot more strength than that 2 racks, just because you're gonna have those few extra Marines coming out, and it could be enough to throw off Dark here once he sees that bunker going up. You know, he's probably gonna treat this like it's a 2 racks. He's gonna treat it as, gonna say, all right, I can wait, I can pull my drones once I'm ready. But if he does the same thing that he did against Cure in that game where Cure proxy 2 racks, mind you, Cure won that game off the back of it, even though it didn't immediately kill Dark. But Dark waited so long to engage it. He waited for a spine crawler, brought down the drones. You cannot afford to do that against this 3 racks. And this, I mean, this bunker isn't even going to get scouted until right about now, as Dark is going to see it all. And this is just about as bad as you can get here for the Zerg player. Now the second Marine joining Roach Warren is immediately going to be the response. I don't know if Dark is actually going to even try and hold this low ground. You can see Byun just goes up to the high ground, scouts out the fact that there is in fact a Roach Warren on the way, and the Marines, they're just going to stay down. They're going to try and stop these links from going back up to the main. And yeah, this is looking very, very bad for Dark at the start. Oh my god, the Marines just coming right on up. There is a Queen here, but 3 SCVs with this, and the Marine count is going to keep climbing to the point where it might be hard. But the surround coming through, Byun maybe getting a little bit antsy here. He's going to have to try and retreat back to the bunker. Snipes the Queen, though. And getting rid of the Queen is already a massive blow. And now retreating to the bunker. There's no way for Dark to hold this right now. He's definitely going to have to just, yeah. I mean, roaches are going to come down, but I think Byun just clicks on that hatchery. Byun, not target firing here, but still, even with that, bunker is just doing enough that the roaches can't fight it straight up. And there we go, hatchery goes down. Byun, he's found the damage that he wants, and, well, actually, the bunker is still not gonna fall. Finally, we're gonna get some corrosive biles coming out, but the Marines step out. They're gonna be able to snipe down roaches, and oh my! Byun is just finding so much damage with this, as he's continually producing Marines behind it. Now the Ravagers are gonna be the ones under attack. Ravager is going to go down. The Marine count is starting to fall, and with those roaches popping out on the low ground, Byun is just going to try and save the high health Marines. Now, of course, behind this, Byun has not expanded. This has been so all in with the 3 racks. You invest so many resources, you have to find damage. We do have the factory on the way here for Byun. Bunker at the front. He's preparing for that expansion. That will be on the way soon, but just not quite yet. These 2 barracks are going to fly on back. 1 barracks is going to scout out, and so far, that is the state of the game. It's, I mean, I would say relatively even, honestly. Obviously, Dark took a lot of damage, but this being the proxy 3 racks, it's not game ending, because you know that Byun was all in. Byun was, you know, that was it, as that was Byun's game plan, was this proxy 3 racks. And so now he does have to hold the front. Ravagers are here, repairs have to go down. 5 Ravagers, you know, this is going to be not the easiest hold. You don't have a ton of Marines, and actually, this is getting pretty dangerous here for Byun, although the bunker getting repaired very, very nicely. 2 more corrosive biles going down, but they're not going to be able to snipe off the workers. Byun microing well. The bunker just barely holding up as the barracks are blocking, but finally it's going to go down. And 3 Marines here is just not enough to hold this. And you can see now Byun kind of the effects of using those Marines to push earlier on. You just don't have as many available now for this hold, as one very, very low Ravager is still going to survive. This command center getting dangerously low. Cyclone going to be able to snipe off one of the Ravagers. More Marines coming out. SCVs are going to have to be pulled here. That's how that command center is so low. Byun, are you going to have to cancel it? It is just a hair's breadth away. The corrosive bile is not going to be enough. Now Cyclone going to pick off another Roach. And Byun does manage to hold. Of course, behind this, Dark has his hatchery back up. Barracks has been able to scout that out now. And yeah, we're chilling. We're chilling. Crazy early game. Obviously, I'm sad because we didn't get to do this live, so we don't get Inu's wonderful translations. Usually, our Korean caster Inu does host this, but I was not there, so we're not gonna. I don't know what they said. As Byun just pressing here, and the Cyclone's actually getting quite a bit of damage. That's gonna be a Roach going down. Lock-ons onto the Queen as well. Is there gonna be a scan for the high ground? Not quite. Byun just going up the ramp though. Snipes off a drone and is going to get on out. More lock-ons. That's going to be a Queen dead unless transfusions come through. And yeah, that command center was 1 bile away. Dark just not quite having the cooldown on that second Ravager before it was popped. And I mean, Byun's counting his lucky stars. If that command center was canceled, mind you, that was probably game over. I think Dark would have found enough return damage to make this very, very hard for Byun to get back into the game. But now this third command center, it is actually coming down faster than the third hatchery of Dark. And mind you, behind this, Byun has had full scouting. He's had full information. The barracks has just been floating around, seeing what it needs to see. The few I don't know, are there workers in the barracks? Is that like StarCraft lore accurate? Are there other people in the barracks? Well, they're dead now. The barracks does go down, but still, I think Byun's going to be pretty happy with the position that he's in. The Cyclones continuing to scout around. Are going to be able to start to take down, I mean, even these Overlords. Just very, very annoying right now for Dark. As I believe that, actually, yeah, that will supply block Dark for a little while. As 4th hatchery now on the way. And yeah, this is a rough position. I mean, obviously it's Dark. And Dark is one of those players that we know he can fight back from any spot. Dark can, you know, he's one of the, obviously is one of the best Zerg players from any economy, or from playing from behind. I think that is undisputed. He has had so many comeback wins and low economy wins. And that's just kind of the style that Dark plays. But mind you, right now you're looking at what's going to be a 5-Rax Terran working on 2-2 and Stim. That's going to be going for a very strong timing attack here. In Byun. And it's really going to be a question of, can Dark hold on? Because again, Byun's up in workers. You know, this third hatchery was so late. And had Dark been able to actually cancel that command center, you know, the command center was 1 bile away from getting killed, from getting canceled. Had Dark been able to do that, this game would be a bit more even. But the fact that he pushed across the map with all those roaches that he made and wasn't able to get the cancel is what really puts him in a bad spot now, as Armory is also coming down. Additional reactors coming through onto those barracks. Tanks are also available here for Byun. And for now, it's just going to be a push out here with a small group of Marines, 2 medevacs. They do have Stim, are going to have 1-1 available just to try and clear up this creep. Dark is already pushing that creep on the right side of the map, trying to get some vision back, trying to get some footholds on this map. What if he had done a link flood? I mean, if Dark had done the link flood, then he would have been all in, is the thing. As, oh, here we go. Surround already set up by Dark. A few Marines have to be sacrificed. And Byun just gets on out of there as Dark has built up quite the army count, but mind you, that is in expense of his drones, as 17 are now coming through. And yeah, had Dark done a Ling Flood with the Roaches and the Ravagers, that would have put him all in. Because mind you, Dark's economy at that point was already low. He was trying to retake his natural base. And I don't think that Dark wanted to do that. He knew that, hey, these Roaches and Ravagers are, they're going to be able to do, they're strong enough that I can push with them, and so I can try and find damage, especially because the barracks are lifted off. There's no more Marines. That factory should be delayed because this was a 3 racks. So yeah, that's why we probably didn't see the Ling Flood, just to answer that question in chat. But the Ling Flood probably would have been able to end it, I think, had Dark committed to that. But then you also run the risk of Byun just retreating to a bunker on the high ground. You actually saw that Byun had set up a bunker on the high ground. As here we go, double prong pressure from Byun. Medevac is going to be able to get the full unload as it just barely is going to dodge out, being sniped by the Queen. And now Queen's being focused down by the Marines. The Queens are going to go down, but so does the Medevac. Byun still able to snipe about 3 Queens there. 4 Queens actually going down in total as, oh, Byun! Luckily, +1/+1 Marines to survive at least one Baneling connection, as we now know. As Byun is able to get out with most of those units there on the right side of the map, is going to bring over reinforcements, this time with Widow Mines. And behind this, he is taking his 4th. Now, Dark, I will say, has done a great job of kind of recovering off of that late 3rd hatchery. Took a very quick 4th, built up a strong army. I mean, immediately just spammed out drones up to 77 workers. And now is back on the army production as more and more Lings coming out. Banelings now with centrifugal hooks means that this army is going to be a lot harder for Byun to fight with that Baneling speed, as well as +2/+2. I mean, coming out fairly close. In fact, ahead of actually Byun's +2/+2 for his bio. It's very, very well done here by Dark. A nice dodge there of the Widowmine shot is Byun trying to take this fight. That's amazing Widowmine hit. But right now it's just Marines trying to fight against these Lings and Banes, and this is really not going to go well for Byun. As again, pushing on the right side, is pushing into a Dark who's completely prepared. As Widowmine drops coming through, they don't have speed, bro, but they do have cloak as 6 workers going down. Another 3 to add on to that, and 1 more Widowmine heading towards the natural base. See if that finds any damage as Byun just trying to delay, distract Dark until he, of course, can get up his own economy. Widowmine, 15 drones. We missed the shot of it. Looked like it was going to go down, but no. Widowmine going to be able to grab, I think, what, 6 more on just that one shot, and now that sets Dark back quite a bit. I mean, Dark really couldn't afford to take economic damage, but Byun just slides that medevac in. Cloaked Widowmine is just being so annoying. Finally, that one's going to be picked off at the main, or at the natural. But once again, that means that Byun is going to have a better economy than his opponent. As, oh, Dark's trying so hard to get that. Mind Drag is finally going to find it, trying to chase down the Marines, but only gets a few. As the Marauders are fighting this straight up, and Byun at the same time unloading into the main base. Multi-pronged pressure here coming through for the Terran. Isn't able to get too much damage there in the main, but now looking to focus down the hatchery. Not going to be able to. Has to just pick on up as the Banelings try and run them down. Finally, that drop in the main is also going to get picked off as Byun is really trying to apply a lot of pressure here. It's just not working though. Dark, I mean, aside from that Widowmine drop, has defended everything very, very well. He hasn't lost workers. Right now is keeping this 5-base economy alive. And obviously, that's soon going to be matched by Byun's own 5-base economy. But for now, it is keeping Dark afloat. It is allowing him to transition now into his Hydralisks. It should allow him to get into Lurkers, should that be his transition of choice, as these Lings trying to fight again. Byun, I mean, honestly, felt like he could take that, but has to pick up, as here we go, the much larger group of Ling Bane on the right side of the map. Not wanting to engage there into the Marauders, of course, as right now I think Byun is producing, yeah, I mean, 3 Marauders and 4 Marines at a time off of these 8 racks. Is pretty much maxing out his economy in terms of production. 3-3 is finishing up soon, and once those upgrades finish, of course, this war of attrition where Dark has been holding on and trying to survive is going to get a lot harder for the Zerg, because now this bio will trade so much better, as Banelings still not committing on in. Zerglings taking the brunt there of the Widow Mines, and then Byun just gets on out before the Banelings are able to find a connection. A triple drop, actually. They are into the 3rd base, finds 4 drones worth of damage, but now he's going to be a little bit trapped. Going to try and find its way out along the bottom here. I don't know, is there enough? Oh, okay, there should be enough dead airspace. This is Cosmic Sapphire. There should be enough dead airspace for those medevacs to find their way out. And I mean, Dark is starting on his Vipers, but they aren't here just yet. He's approaching maxed out, but that bank really isn't building just yet. As here we go. Man, those Marauders are so tanky. Let's absorb all that like it's nothing. Byun committing on down. Banelings trying to roll on in. Triple drop once again denied. And at the front, it's starting to go a little bit sideways here for Dark, as it looks like Byun's starting to find damage in the main as well as at the 5th. It's just the Ravagers and the Hydras remaining. The Banelings are picked off. 3-3 is now done. And you see how much better that makes these units fight. At 16 minutes into the game, that 5th base, it looks like it's going to go down, but another Lane Flood, a blinding cloud to stop the Marines from firing. The 5th base goes down. Byun picks up. Byun putting Dark back another step, ever closer to that ledge he's oh so close to falling off of, and it has been this whole game. Dark is essentially remaxing right now on a lot of Lings and a few Hydralisks. Widowmine shots so far not good. Dark doing a great job actually of dragging these Widowmine shots. None of them find connections. Dark forces the lift off, but again, there's nothing for him to snipe off those medevacs. And that just means that he can't really capitalize fully on that beautiful engagement. Snipes going down onto the Banelings. Ghosts are now out on the map. And again, this is a 5-base economy for the Terran. I mean, you can look at the income if you want to see just how bad this is for Dark. Byun is mining more than him. Almost, I mean, consistently 1,000, if not 2,000 more minerals per minute, with mules in the equation as well. I mean, we know that Byun is good, or that Dark is good from a low economy. We know that Dark can fight back from these positions, but it really is just a question of, I mean, will Byun let him? As Byun is looking to apply pressure now to the 6th. Another army moving on out, still also applying pressure across the map, though, towards the 3rd. Had a small group of units there clearing up creep. As here we go, Banelings already split up trying to engage this. Are going to knock down a few of the Widow Mines. The base is just canceled, though. Oh, the Vipers are a bit exposed. Ghost not quite going to be in range there for a snipe. As this is Dark's whole army right now being brought over just to try and deal with that attack. Byun saw them all. It's too good. Can't trick him. As Dark just trying to max out right now on Ling Bane. These few Marines have just been really annoying, denying creep on the left side of the map. You know, Byun has been waiting for the whole army to be on the right side. Goes in, snipes creep tumors, gets on out, and that's really been the job of those units, is just to deny that creep spread, although Dark is getting a nice creep highway down the middle of the map right now. That really isn't going to matter unless he is able to find a significant win here in the fight, as he's able to clean up Byun's army, and there are a lot of Banelings available. The Banelings just going to roll on through, but that that Widowmine connection is just so good. Another one! As this time, Dark struggling a little bit to find the splits that he was earlier, is going to be able to clean it up, though, and Byun actually drops in supply. Oh my boy, no, does Dark do this? There's no way, right? There's no way. But the blinding clouds are so good. The Banelings, even though they didn't find the best connections, they were still able to get on top of the army. It was kiting back. There's so many Hydralisks out now. Has Dark just bought enough time? I mean, he's back up to 5 bases. Sure, he's not on 6 like Byun. Oh, Byun, what is his? What's the tank count? I mean, only 2 tanks here for Byun. There's not a lot of static defense to help out. It's Widow Mines. It's, you know, 2 tanks. Good unbro there on the Widow Mine, but we should just see. Oh, great EMPs by Byun. He's going to deny the Vipers, but it just doesn't matter. Again, the Widow Mines, they're not finding the connections. Dark is rolling on in. This army for Byun needs to split. Zerglings are going to be cleaned up, but the factory goes down. Dark dropping in supply, but so is Byun. Dark snipes the base. 13 workers go down. You still see the army there, still standing. Byun. Uh-oh, Ghost getting a little bit too far forward here. The Banelings trying to find the connections. Cloaking up the Ghost, the Marines. Taking a brunt of those Banelings. Snipes go down, the Vipers are down, and now Dark supply is starting to drop as Byun keeping the Ghosts alive. I mean, did he find a snipe onto the Overseer? Is that why Dark couldn't actually detonate those Banelings on the cloaked Ghosts? I would love to know. As luckily for Byun, he has enough command centers. They just mule hammers that 6th. He's back in an extremely comfortable position. Dark trying to double expand Gold Base and the 6th expansion up along the right side of the map here. It really is the only shot for Dark, who right now is down about 30 army supply. Alright, yeah, he did target fire the Overseers. That was such a good move by Byun. I was going to say, I didn't notice until after the fight, but yeah, all the Overseers got targeted, and then from there, it was just the Ghost being alive. Oh my god! Byun finds an incredible Widowmine connection hidden there in the fog of war as the Banelings trying to roll on through, but they're not going to be able to find the connection. At the same time, the gold base goes down, and that's just GG. Byun getting himself game number 1. Now, obviously, Stargazers, a bit of a different map. You have the pocket expansions. We've seen, I mean, we saw obviously in, what, was it Katowice? Was that Katowice? No, I don't believe it was, right? Sarah won that. I'm trying, what, was it a DreamHack? Anyway, Dark versus Maru, 7-game series at LAN, obviously. We saw, these pocket expansions come into play. And that's really, I think, the main difference here for Stargazers is those. You also do have a 6-patch gold mineral base at the bottom of the map. We've also seen this come into play. I mean, I'm thinking Maru versus Creator. Creator takes this base. It allows him to propel his economy to a place where he's able to win the game. The pocket expansion, Dark versus Maru. Nidus Worm comes in the back. Maru does not have the preparation for it. And Dark is able to snowball that to a win. But Stargazers has a lot of tools for both Terrans and Zerg to use. Now, Terrans, they do like this map. And one of the reasons why you like this map is, hey, this pocket expansion, if I take it early, that is pretty much a free natural base that the Zerg can't really attack. And then my actual 3rd base and my natural is so much easier to defend because you only have this one choke point that you're having to actually defend, is this one choke point. That is it, as Byun. Obviously, when he does go for a command center first, actually excludes his Reaper from the build, so he's just trying to poke down that Overlord. But overall, this map is nice for Terran. I think generally Terrans do like it with that pocket expansion. It just makes their lives a little bit easier. As for Zergs, it's interesting here. Dark went for a very early 3rd base at the pocket expansion. So usually you don't see Zergs take that pocket so early, just because as a Zerg player, you're going to be expanding faster than your opponent. If you are able to get up the outlying bases quicker, so looking at that base diagonal down from the main, the bases that extend just down the right side of the map, if you're able to take those earlier in the game, you actually have a much better chance of being able to take that pocket later, and then you know, you have that guaranteed economy. And the easy splitting of that? Oh, yeah. Yeah. Easy splitting. That's true. I think this map has a lot of similarities to... what's that map? I mean, like the Golden Wall-esque maps, you know, where you have a lot of bases on the side, and then you have the kind of that one in the center that is contentious. But because the map is kind of constructed, Blackburn, yeah, Blackburn, that's the one I can think of. It has that kind of structure where it is kind of just very much, here are your bases along the side of the map. There's a lot of attack routes in the middle, and then that makes, for the Terran, you know, it's a lot easier to split up your army and attack 2 places at once. It's also, there's a lot of room in the center of the map for you to just set up engagements. And, I mean, the same can go for the Zerg. You know, there's a lot of room to set up, try and set up surrounds, but I think overall, it generally does just help the Terrans a bit more. As we see a spy crawler coming down here for Dark. Now, I don't know if he's actually been able to see the fact that this is battlecruiser. I don't believe so. He's just scouted out the command center. But Spinecrawler and Sporecrawler on the way. Dark is not, he's not playing any games. He wants to be safe, Spine at the front so that those Hellions are not able to dive on in. And luckily for him, with these spores coming down, it is actually going to be a battlecruiser from Byun on Stargazers, which is definitely, I think, I mean, BCs have their place in the meta right now, and so usually it is paired up with going for mech, but Byun is actually going to be transitioning into bio. Stim pack on the way now. Yeah, an additional barracks. I was going to say it could be a fake, but no, additional barracks. So Byun is doing kind of this variation of the battlecruiser that we see, or that we would see someone like Maru do, where Maru would just go battlecruiser opening like almost every game for like a small period, where he really liked the build. He would just go battlecruisers every game, 1 to 3 battlecruisers, 1 or 3 battlecruisers actually, and then he would transition to either mech or into bio, just hoping that he got enough damage and bought enough time with the BCs. And well, that's kind of the plan here for Byun. He's going to be attacking in with the battlecruiser, but he's actually going for 5 racks on this 2 base. Has the 3rd command center that is finished and is currently morphing into an orbital. This BC is in a bit of trouble. That's a lot of queens, and obviously with the spine crawler at the front there, the Hellions are not able to dive on in. This BC, it might just go down, is actually going to try and escape. 2 queens looking for an intercept course. Dark throws out. Listen, I don't know what they're saying, but the question marks are universal. As the battlecruiser goes down, obviously Byun has not committed any more. Again, battlecruisers, you either build one of them, or you build 3 of them. 3 is kind of that critical mass where they can just kind of target down whatever they want with Yamato cannon. As well, they have a lot of threat. You don't invest too many minerals into them, and they're still useful. Oh my. But behind this, again, it's 5 racks. It's +1/+1. Byun is going to have a very strong timing attack here with the bio. I think, though, Dark is reading this very well. He's just keeping up with his Ling Bane, starts up his own 1/1 upgrades, has the Hydralisk Den starting up on upgrades as well. So Dark is once again going to be going into this Ling Bane Hydra as this Viking. It got a single Overlord and is now going to look for a little bit more. The lawnmower is going by outside. The Hellions, nice pickoffs on the Greep. Vikings also going to scout a few more active tubers. But Hydras are now out on the map. So for Byun pushing out, +1/+1. Has Widowmines with this as well. He's going to just look to clear up creep, apply some pressure. Has 2 medevacs. We'll see what the army is here for Dark. And right now it's 56 Zerglings, so I don't really think there's much pressure that can be done beyond. Oh my god, those Widowmine hits have no right being that good, as Dark not able to really split his units as well as he'd like. And now Byun just going to be annoying, threaten these medevacs heading on up. I don't know what that sound cue was. But threaten the medevacs heading up on into that natural base. Isn't going to commit to it. As Dark immediately onto those 2/2 upgrades. Knows that it's so important when when you are playing Ling Bane Hydra, especially to keep up in that factor. You need to keep your upgrades rather synchronous with the Terrans, if not ahead, or synchronized with the Terrans. So obviously if you don't, the real weakness of Ling Bane is the fact that you have to split your army most of the time. And we see Byun is going to start to do that. He's going to try and split. The army of Darks has 4 medevacs on the top side of the map, has 2 on the bottom. And so now this Ling Bane is going to have to split off a little bit. Woo! Okay, yeah. Dark was ready for that. 2 spores and a spine, as well as most of the queens. The stare down. Byun commits and is going to pick off a few Zerglings and picks up. Loses about 6 Marines before that pickup comes through. But Dark obviously in a much better spot this game. I mean, Dark is not in a disastrously bad position, is what we can say about this game, which is so much better. Almost anything would be better than the position in the last game. Is, oh my god, Byun, you're going for this? I guess so. I mean, over top, what? 2 spore crawlers and all of the queens, and he's trying to take the fight, but the medevacs are getting focused down. I mean, still finding a good trade somehow. Gets out a full medevac. That... What? I mean, even Dark was surprised. He didn't have his queens ready for that. Because who would do that? Well, Byun did. And he finds a pretty decent trade off the back of it. Single Baneling gets picked off by that Widow Mine. Which, I mean, funnily enough, I think ends up actually being like a perfect trade of resources, a Widow Mine for a Baneling. 75-25 each, as Widow Mines are going to burrow. Marauders at the front here, and the Banelings just get picked off. No Zerglings to try and tank. Finally, the Zerglings are going to come on through, but you have to be careful with 4 Widow Mines here. The shots are just dodged so deftly. I'm going to have to pick on up far enough away from those Hydralisks that they aren't able to get the shots off. But now Dark just trying to commit this across the map. The Widow Mines, though, they're burrowed. The Widow Mines find some incredible connections as, I mean, yeah, Byun just drops behind the wall, is going to be able to start to knock down a lot of these Zerglings. The command center, though, does end up getting killed. That was not a cancel on that building command center, but the hatchery down here at the bottom side of the map, bottom right-hand corner, is under threat. The Marines are eventually going to get cleaned on up. And the other big, I mean, part of this is Byun. Only 1 Baneling connected onto those workers, onto the SCVs at his 4th. And they're all in the red health. I mean, you get another shot of it, but looks like they got healed back up by the medevacs. But for a second, they were all on red hit points, and Dark could have gotten some massive economic damage there had he been able to find another Baneling into that mineral line. But now, as it is 2-2 done for both players, once again, Dark a little bit ahead on that 3-3 timing. Lurker Den as well, also on the way. Another drop by Byun. I mean, no way does he get it out again. The Marines are just loading on in. They get past the Spore Crawler. The Queens aren't in position. And now the Queens are going to start to go down. As Byun just doesn't care. Says you have Spores and you have Queens. Ah, whatever. I'm still going to fight this. Queens are now going down. Fighting against the Ling Bane. Picks up eventually into the high health medevacs. And now is also attacking the creep on the top side of the map here. And Byun is just doing such a good job of applying this pressure while never losing too much. And that's really the main focus of the game right now for the Terran, is you want to keep the Zerg back at their bases. You know, Dark can't ever really push out, because if he does, he knows that one of the 2 sides of this map here for Byun can just push in, snipe a base, and then put Dark immeasurably far behind, especially if Dark is not able to find return damage. Because again, Byun trying to go in with that drop. Finding the most damage with it now, though, is Dark is a little bit more prepared, but Byun accumulating his forces on the top of the map. He's just going to push down this creep once again, and I mean, you just see how low, or how not far, the lack of my vocabulary being good right now, how held back the creep is for Dark right now, as Dark trying to commit on in. Stim back, though, just in time. The 2 medevacs split away. That got Parasitic Bomb immediately taken off of that control group. This small group of units, though, on the bottom side of the map are going to get completely picked off. Byun just not paying attention. But yeah, I mean, Dark right now, he only has one real avenue of creep that is alive right now, and that is the one that has been spreading down from that natural base towards the gold. That's really it, though. That's all the creep spread that Dark has been able to get up. And it just means that Byun right now, he has full agency on the map, is working on his 5th base. 3-3 almost done now for the Terran. Ghosts on the way in time to respond to the lurkers, and obviously that very, very feared Nidus Worm coming up, and Byun already has units pocketed at the back of at his base. And man, when Byun plays well, and when Byun, you know, is in this kind of mode where he's reading the game state and he knows exactly what the Zerg might go for, it is just so good to see. I mean, just those Marines, that group of units at that pocket base, he knows that Dark would love to Nidus it. He just takes them off of the main control groups, says, yeah, I'm just going to sit them there, because I know that that might happen. And those are units that I can afford to expend as lurkers burrowing. Dark now the one splitting up his army. We'll see if Byun's ready for this. I mean, this is most of Byun's army right now at the top side of the map, and Dark, oh, he's looking to hit 2 places at once. Nidus Worm into the pocket. Byun has his units there that was going to be able to start to pick that up, but here we go, the run by from Byun. It's going to be a lot of dead workers and a lot of canceled command centers especially. There's only 200 minerals lost in total. Another Nidus Worm going down. There's still units though there for Byun, as long as he's able to respond in time. These lurkers denying the base. Nidus Worm is going to be denied as well. But a great move there by Dark. Just going to be able to keep Byun off 5 bases, keep Byun back on this economy, and that's exactly what Dark needs right now, as he himself is approaching maxed out. Dark himself is at 5 bases now, is adding on a 6th. And 14 lurkers on the way, as these lings just trying to be annoying, looking for some damage. The hold position is really nice there from Dark, just to find as much damage as possible. 6 SCVs end up going down in total. And 20 SCVs lost to 18 drones. It's been even swings here for both players. 2,000 more minerals lost, actually, I believe, for Dark. Look at this lurker swell. This is, oh my, this reminds me of a rogue in ZVP, back when lurkers were just the unit, as Baneling's rolling on in planetary fortresses here. Snipes going down though from Byun, and Dark has to be careful as Ghosts getting pulled back. Ghosts need to be split. The Baneling's not finding the connections that they need to, but the base is going down, and that is the damage that Dark wanted. Most of the lurkers are still alive. He backs on up, gets another base, and Dark really starting to leverage the fact that he has this insane lurker count right now. I mean, 14 lurkers. It's just so hard to engage into it. Byun, again, just having these units here, they're able to respond in time and knock down those Nidus Worms. Some more snipes go down. I don't believe onto any lurkers, though. Just the Zerglings end up falling. No, 2 lurkers did go down. As, oh my, Dark, he's just committing in for it. Forces Byun to, I mean, split back, but Byun splits back so well. Doesn't lose that much. And now the lurkers getting trapped on each other just a little bit. Snipes go down, 2 more are going to fall. And, oh yeah, there are no more Vipers left. The Vipers actually went down in that initial fight at the 5th base of Byun. And so now you don't have Abducts, you don't have Blinding Clouds, and those are 2 spells that are extremely useful. You see those Vipers back on the production tab, but they're not going to be done for a while. Need to rebuild up that energy that they had. 7 more workers go down. Byun, though, is perfectly happy with a 55 worker economy, mind you. This is Terran with mules on 5 bases right now. It is not horrible playing on 56 workers. Byun has to be careful. This round is already set up. Cancel goes down onto the hatchery, but Lurker Spine is going to be able to find a lot of damage onto those Ghosts. And Dark, again, he's just saying, all right, let's swing it across the map. I got Lurkers. What do you have? First Lurker is burrowing. That's going to be a Ghost down. Baneling's going to find some connections there. Baneling's trying to go in on the other army, but they're not finding the best connections. Dark supply is starting to plummet here as the Liberator is just finding so much value at this 4th base. Viper or Hydra's going to try and knock them down. Hydra's not going to be able to knock them down as the Liberators stay alive. The choke point stays alive. And now it's just the Lurkers all alone. And Byun comes on in with the Ghost. The snipes go down. And Byun just cleans it up. Dark, I mean, down to 120 supply. And that's just such a risky move. And Byun, man, handles that so well. 170 supply now for the Terran. Nidus Worm going up, but it's going to be knocked down again. Just that small group of units in that pocket expansion. And Byun played that just so well. I mean, getting his units behind the mineral line with the Liberators. Just being so annoying as this Lurker. Also being annoying, though. I mean, Dark, he actually burrowed some lanes there at the 5th base, just trying to buy up as much time as possible, trying to delay this game as much as possible as the burrow's going to go down. And Dark right now, the name of the game is just delay. 10 more SCVs falling, 12. Nidus Worm going in the main, but I don't think that's going to go up. Some Ghosts there, and they do a pretty decent job knocking that down. Oh, maybe not. Zerglings could unburrow here to try and distract from some of the damage, but I mean, right now, Dark is just playing the delay game. Infestor's on the way to interact here or to help with the Lurkers, and obviously I think the Infestors could have been very useful earlier on. As Dark's just not going to be able to take this gold base. Mind you, if Dark isn't able to take the gold base, then that essentially means that the Zerg and the Terran have an even amount of minerals that they can mine on the map, and for the Zerg, that puts them in a much worse position as you're looking at that resources lost. 7,000 more. Almost 7,000 more for Dark. And almost 3,000 gas. It hurts. It is not a fun position to be in again for Dark, where he doesn't have a bank. It's going to start to build up once again, though. Well, that Infestor, I think should have been burrowed. If I imagine Dark meant to burrow that Infestor, as that's already 2 getting picked off, and that's not the best. Then Dark just slipped on in there to scan range, but 2 Infestors burrowed right now. Obviously going to look for that unburrow fungal onto the Ghosts. Even look for the EMP, as there we go. Dark gets half the Ghosts. Can go for the other half right now. Has another Infestor. Is he going to go for it? No, there's the fungal growth, though. It's all of the low energy Ghosts, as they're just going to go down, and Dark collapses. Finds a great trade. The Infestor's going to get picked off, but it absolutely paid for itself in value there, as even though they were the low energy ones, that's still so worthwhile that he got that. As Infestors here, not going to be able to find damage. Scan goes down. Zergling is trying to collapse on top of, Ghosts and Marauders. It's really not a good army composition to try and fight with straight up Zerglings. Another EMP! Dark! Oh my! Just getting the energy off these Ghosts, and Byun not really going to be able to push now. That Ghost energy is so important for them getting those snipes for the cloaks. Half of his Ghosts not having it. Still is working with 20 Ghosts, though. 118 lings for Dark. Only 3 Infestors. As once again, another run by here into this base. Mules are going to go down. I believe more. Did more Ghosts lose energy? I heard another EMP go off there on the Ghosts. I'd love to get a shot of them. Just to see. Yeah, look at how low the energy is. 6 or so. Having energy anymore. Dark is just being merciless here. Bailing run by. More workers going to go down. Only 8. I think a little bit of a miss rally there with the workers, as this Infestors, once again, there's a bunch of high health ones, but the scan goes down. Byun knows exactly what Dark is looking for now. It's happened 4 times over. But there we go, it's an EMP. Knocks down the energy once more, but there's just so many Ghosts, it's hard to really get the entire clump. Byun, he isn't clumping up his ghosts. He's not keeping them all together because he knows that this could happen. Another scan. Yeah, Byun, he's on top of it now. He knows exactly what is being looked for. Oh my. That neuroparasitic ghost gets a marine, gets a medevac. But right now, again, there's so many neural parasites. I can just hear them, or not even looking over there. I can just hear them going off as Widow Mines do find some good connections. That run by gonna be shut down. 7 more infestors on the way, but you still see how high this ghost energy is. You know, it's just Byun has so many ghosts. Byun has been able to split his ghosts well enough that there's still so much energy available on them. Again, those Zergling run by is still going to find a way in. Force to scan out, but at this point, Byun has so many. Where's the MP? Does it go down? Snipe actually was used there by Dark. As this game is just, I mean, it is a fight over this gold base. That's where Byun is set up. Look at this spread. Look at this split by Byun, man. He's just, there's just nowhere for Dark to find a way in unless he tries to swing this across the map. Unless he, I don't know, snipe onto a ghost though. But trading an infestor for a ghost, it's not really, I don't know if it's really worthwhile. I mean, Byun has finally gotten up the bottom left-hand base, and that's a bunch of fresh minerals for Byun that he can mule more command centers going down. As Zergling run by here, a lot of the Widow Mines got triggered. This is just Dark's whole army. He says, listen, if you are going to be, you know, entrenched by this gold base, then I'm going to attack elsewhere. He's going to snipe down the command center, but there's not a lot of minerals left on that base. As this army, I mean, it's such a big army for Byun. 141 supply of Terran. So they're trying to find their way down to these bases, but I mean, there's Terran here or Dark. You just have to split up these Zerglings because you can't really afford, but they're all trapped. As Dark, this was not the right move. Sure, you get 26 workers, 27 SCVs in total. But I mean, Byun, he has so many command centers. He has mules. He can regain this economy. He can rebuild it. And he didn't knock down any of the army. And what are you going to build to do that? I mean, you need infestors. You need to catch the army when it's clumped up. Yeah, there's a missile turret there. Another infestor going to go down.
Assimilation successful.
I think Byun had the immediate EMP. But, oh my, Byun. Just being ruthless here with these scans. Has enough energy for it. But I mean, you need to find the army clumped up. You need to somehow engage here with the army being, you know, clumped up enough that the Banelings can find a connection. This might be the start of it, as one chunk of this army is going to go down for Byun, but it's just not enough. There's too much. GG. Byun is going to take game number 2. Now, Byun, I really don't think that Byun is going to risk, you know, a super aggressive 2-base timing attack. I think especially on Data C, this is such a large map, and the issue with doing any sort of early attack on a large map is that it's going to hit later. Your opponent will have more time to prepare naturally because of the rush distance, unless you know, kind of figure that into your calculations and even move out sooner than you would. But then of course you run the risk of your army getting caught out with maybe not the upgrades that you were looking for, especially if it's maybe a +1/+1 timing, stim, and combat shields. So I really wouldn't be surprised if Byun just plays this a standard macro game. As, nice macro here, gonna be able to get the first lane, should be able to grab the second as well. Of course the queen will be out in time now, but I'm gonna be pretty happy with that, just getting rid of the Lings, and actually has produced a second Reaper as well. So he had that barracks. You saw it positioned at kind of the ledges there outside of the main base. And so Byun just takes advantage of that, gets out 2 Reapers very quickly across the map, and says, I can apply a little bit of pressure here. Queen is once again going to deny them. The Reapers, though, still trying to be annoying. Low health Reapers are too far forward. Byun going to micro it back, gets that Queen down below half before he backs out. Of course, that will slowly start to regenerate, but should those Reapers dive back on in, well, both Queens are there, so fortunately, not gonna happen. KD8 charge unable to knock back the Queens. The drones block off their escape path to the natural base. And Hellion's on the way. Should see, I imagine that swap over there. Nope, just a tech lab onto the factory, actually. So we'll see if we see the triple swap. This could also be factory onto the reactor, starport onto the tech lab, or you might just see starport onto the tech lab. We'll see. Cyclone actually coming out. Byun does like his Cyclones. It's a unit that Byun has used in almost every matchup, I think, in his openers for safety, and it's a solid unit for that. It is a solid unit for that. So the start of this game is going to be fairly standard. And again, no surprises there. Now Byun, these last 2 games, obviously, the choice of builds has just kind of been a standard bio opener. It has been 1-1, it has been stim and combat shields. You apply pressure with that off of 5 racks. But you never commit in. You never actually try and find that fight unless you find some insane damage with your drops. And it's not until you're on, 3-4 bases, 8 racks, that you're really looking for any strong pushes. But even then, Byun has been, kind of managing well. He's just been, sitting back. He has been playing it safe as that Overlord goes down. He's going to supply block Dark, who needs to build 6 Overlords to get out of that. But yeah, Byun's been playing it very conservative, and he's been just trying to keep units alive. And that's been working great for him. Roach Warren on the way now for Dark. Is probably, I imagine, just a safety Roach Warren. I don't think you go Roaches on this map. Never mind, you do. 7 Roaches here for Dark is going to be the response. And Byun is looking for some light pressure here. Doesn't have Stim, but hey, he has a Cyclone. He's going to morph in some Hellbats. Says, this is a pretty strong force. I can attack here. I'm taking a third behind it. May as well get some pressure out on the map, as I believe Dark is just going for a counterattack. He's leaving the Queens alone. This might be a massive mistake here for Dark. The Roaches are out. Uh-oh. Byun doing Byun things, and that is non-committal Hellbat attacks. It is a Byun classic, as those Roaches are going to go down. Now, though, Dark is going to be able to find the surround. I mean, the Lings, they just can't commit on in. But Dark wants to clean this up. Doesn't have Roach speed, of course. That makes it that much harder. And obviously, Byun wants to keep as much of this alive as possible. When you lose these units, that does set you back quite a bit. While this is with a third base, while this is not a super heavy committal for Byun, this is based off of the units that he already had available. It is vitally important that he keeps them alive, because if he doesn't, well, then this gets very, very awkward. There's a nice pickup there onto the Cyclone, picks up a few Marines, and gets on out, and that's what Byun needed to keep alive in order to stop Dark from really seesawing pressure across the map. Had he failed to do that, then that looks a lot worse, where you see Dark just suddenly swell Roaches, come across the map, and just kill Byun. Now, Dark has his 4th hatchery on the way, Galil Reconstitution, that Roach speed coming through with the ranged and Carapace upgrades. So it's going to be just a full-on Roach Ling for right now. Excuse me. So much yawning. As that triple drop is going to head on out. And this is still without +1/+1. Byun going to try and find his way into the main base. I would be surprised, if Dark doesn't have units there ready. Most Zergs just safety net around this time. You usually get a Spore Crawler. A few Queens positioned at the outside of that main. As look at this, Nidus Worm coming down here for Dark. I mean, mind you, Dark is maxed out as, ooh, yeah, can't push into those roaches. 106 army supply to 50. Dark's gonna look for this. There's no reason not to. Units popping up right now. Cyclone is moving to try and deny it, but Nidus Worm not gonna get popped down just yet. We'll see where this Nidus Worm actually goes. It doesn't look like it's gonna be into the main. That triple drop is moving and kind of swinging down to the third base of Dark, who right now is at 65 workers. He's actually 10 workers behind Byun, but he has 118 army supply of roaches that he is going to look to collapse on in with. As that drop comes through, Byun, how do you hold this? He only has one tank, immediately going to go to repair. There is actually a tank on the high ground, though. Is there going to be anything to get vision of it is the question. I don't think so, as the roaches just committing on up, but they're committing into 1-1 Marines that are now stimming forward. 2 tanks here. Tank in the high ground is going to go down as the Nidus Worm is coming on up, but look at what's happening behind this. The base is being ravaged. Queen's trying to fight the best they can as roaches are being brought over to defend. That drop is going to get cleaned up. Dark, have you gotten enough damage with this attack? The command center is going down. The corrosive biles, it's burning. Are the SCVs going to get there in time, or are more corrosive biles going to finish off? The answer is the command center goes down. The third has fallen. As Byun, he did not find a significant worker damage behind this. The drop had only found like a worker, if that. Right now, Byun getting on out. Mind you, is still working with 54 workers. It's a healthy worker count still for the Terran. And replanted that 4th command center where his 3rd was. Has an additional 4th now ready, already in his main base that he had prepared before this. And for Byun, that's really the saving grace right now, is that he has these units. He has his 2-2 on the way and almost finished. He has double tank production already started up. Byun recognizing that very, very early on, not going up to the 8 racks, instead going up to double factory. That means that this fight gets a little bit harder here for Dark. It's 120 army supply to 80 or so. It's a lot of Ravagers. Of course, if you can find the corrosive biles onto the tanks, this looks very different, but Dark is going again. He needs to find damage with this. Dark, I mean, this isn't an all-in, but it's essentially pretty all-in. There's no more worker production behind this. The tanks stay alive as corrosive biles go down. The Marines, though, they're just stimming on forward. They have 2-2, and the Marines absolutely destroy Dark's army as the Roaches have to retreat. And if you are even on army supply with Roach Ravager, there is something disastrously wrong with your position in this game. As Dark tried to force the issue, but the supply depots were set up ahead of time. The Sim City was there, and Byun just lets his Marines shred as much as he needs. While the Roaches and Ravagers have to walk forward into that tank line. That was just so well done for Byun. Now this double drop going to be annoying. Again, you don't have any anti-air with this composition, as Dark is just trying to remax on Roach Ravager. But now, you know, you're playing Roach Ravager into a composition that's going to have 9 tanks, that's going to have +2 vehicle weapons with it. These Roaches, they're not going to be as tanky as you would like. They're going to melt. They are going to get shredded. This drop here, Byun just trying to find as much damage as possible before he gets on out. Right now is Byun, man, he's looking so good. 4th base reestablished. Roach Ravager trying to find its way on in, but again, this Sim City is just so good here. For Byun, corrosive biles come down, but there's so many tanks. Get away from the tanks, Stark. Don't fight into them. It's a death trap. As just, I mean, so many more Ravagers are going to go down. They have to retreat onto creep, get that movement speed to walk away. At the same time, a drop in the back finds 9 drones to answer the 10 SCVs killed. 3-3 is on the way for Byun, already more than halfway done. And Dark is still on 4 bases, and I mean, it's weird. Every time that Dark plays on Data C, it feels like this happens, where he gets stuck on 4 bases. And I'm not sure what it is about the map, but I know it's happened consistently with Dark the last few times I've cast him playing on this map. The Baneling Nest is on the way, but obviously the Banelings, I mean, I don't know if they're really even going to do that well either. Again, it's 9 tanks. You're going to have +3/+3 Marines. It's not a comfortable position for Dark right now, and he is getting up a 5th base, but mind you that it's going to be matched by a 5th CC by Byun very, very quickly. And +3 vehicle weapons is also on the way, and that just means that that's another kicker. These roaches, they don't survive very long. The bio and then the tanks. Infestors are on the way, of course. Infestors and Banelings can help here, as I mean, maybe collapsing on these tanks before they're actually sieged might be good enough here for Dark as he's looking for the fight. Corrosive Biles come down, they find some connections, but now that spell is on cooldown, the rest of the Marines come on through. Dark just has to retreat. He can't fight straight up against the 3/3 bio. I mean, Dark, he's down in army supply. How do you fight this? Corrosive Biles go down, you snipe 1 tank, but the base is going to fall Byun. It just feels like it is inevitable that he is going to get this 3-0. I don't know if there's much that Dark can do to hold on. The base goes down. And that's a hatchery that Dark just really doesn't have the money to replace. Is kept alive. Dark right now, he has so many Ravagers. 18 Ravagers on the map right now. Fungal Growth goes down, Corrosive Biles snipes a lot of the medevacs, and I mean, this is the combo for Dark. It's Fungal Growth, Corrosive Bile. That's what he has to work with right now to try and find a convincing fight. Obviously, though, Byun, he can split his army. I mean, Byun still has the tanks, and that combo doesn't really deal with the tanks that well. Dark, luckily, has gotten up that 5th base. Now, essentially, his 4th, and is mining plenty of saturation from that. Corrosive Biles not really finding the connections that Dark wants. Fester makes its way forward, pushes the bio back just by its presence. But Byun is still pushing. The tanks are coming forward. Ooh, Dark might be able to collapse onto this. Looking for the Corrosive Biles. He's going to find them. Great Fungal Growth onto all of the bio, as it's all so weak, but doesn't matter. There's no additional Fungal Growth to follow up. One more is all it would have taken to just pop the entire army of Byun. But that one more Fungal Growth just was not there, as the Ling's trying to come on in, trying to fight this the best they can. The Corrosive Biles miss. GG, Byun's going to get the 3-0.